So this is day 3 of owning the Mechmaxx 32. I ran it this morning. No issues with the machine. I will show you what I got going on here. So all this is free logs. I got cherry. That oak, a couple big pieces of oak, not real good. I actually slabbed one of them up right over there. It is so full of ants and termites, kind of crazy. It is spalded a lot too. I'll show you that in just a minute. But I have the cedar, I got walnut, more cherry back there. So what I'm working on right now is, I was told starting out, because the first day I ran this, I hit the blade on that log dog thing down there. Damn near cut it in half, and it was only a split second, but it knocked about 5 teeth off this blade. So right now when I run it, it vibrates really bad. I would say if you order anything from Mechmaxx, do it on Amazon, because anything you order off of Amazon, they seem to ship out to you faster. I ordered a set of blades and a cover for this directly through their website. When I received this, I think it was like Friday or Saturday or something. And I don't even have shipping information for it yet, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. I mean, this is new, so I'm okay with using this blade still. It does vibrate and I have to go really slow. But upon doing some research and stuff, I was told to remove these and cut some out of wood. That way, if you hit them with the blade while you're learning how to use these things, you simply cut them in half and you're not tearing the blade up. So that's what I'm working on right now. If you're using untreated wood to make your stops out of, about 1 9/16 inches. You can cut them to whatever length you want, but if it's untreated wood that might get wet and swell up, 1 9/16 inches is about what you want to do. If you're using treated lumber and you don't have to worry about it swelling up, about 1 5/8 will fit down in here. So that's what I'm cutting mine at out front right now, is 1 5/8. Something else I'm working on is I got ahead of myself slicing this wood. But what we have here is there's a creek on the other side of this. And this used to be a dog run at one time. We're taking this fence down. We're going to lay about 6 inches of gravel the length of this building. And then I'll show you out front, we've got a lot of oak rough cut 4x4s. So we're going to use those as posts across the back all the way down this. We're going to cover this in, put a roof over it. Once we get all them tree branches up there removed, they come from across the creek. So I'm going to go ahead and get those cut off before we do this. But we'll get this all enclosed like a lean-to. Down there at that end, down low, there's going to be 2 fans sucking air through here to help with drying of wood. Like I said, I did kind of get ahead of myself because I was in a hurry to use the sawmill. So we slapped this thing together right after we got it, just because I was in a hurry to use it. So anyway, something you want to have for sure if you're just starting out. This does create a lot of sawdust, which is, I guess, expected. I'll show you what I got cut here right now. So these are some of these rough cut oak 4x4s that we have. We're going to be using these to stack the wood on back there for now. Get it up off the ground just a little bit more. And then the stickers, these have all been ripped down out of untreated pine 2x4s. So you end up with one that's 1/2 inch when you're ripping down at 3/4 inch. So each of these is 1.5 inches tall by 3/4 inch wide, and that's what we're using for stickers to separate the wood back there right now. And again, these are all ripped out of untreated pine, and then I cut them on the chop saw. You can get about 14 at a time, stacking them in 2 layers to cut them. So anyway, as far as the wood stops, and don't mind the shop, it's a mess right now. If you need a giant plank of oak, I got one to get rid of. But it's a sign we're working on. Got another one going on back there in the CNC. Under that mess, there's a top for a table that's being worked on. Everything's kind of unorganized right now. But right now, I have this ripped down to 1 5/8. And you can see I have it marked here. So I'm going to get 2 8-inch ones here, 2 at 18 here, 2 at 12 here, and 2 at 10 here. So they're different lengths. I'll get all these cut down, take them out there, and that's what I'm going to use for stops for a little while. That way if I do hit anything else until I get some more blades in for Mechmaxx, I'm not just sitting dead. Because I do have all this wood here that has been given to me. I've got a giant walnut tree that I still have to go cut up and bring over. I've got 2 people now that have given me big cedar trees. So I'm just going to slice all this stuff up into planks, because that's mainly what we're going to be using it for, is signs like this. And eventually, once it gets here, we've got a 60 by 60 120 watt laser on the way. And once that gets here, we'll be making barn style doors out of cedar and burning them for the cabins. So with that, I'm just going to set this over here for a second. Let's see if you'll sit up here. Maybe, maybe not. I'll let you look into our messy shop. And I'm just going to cut these off real quick, and then we'll go back there and see how they fit. Now one might say you should just cut one and see how it fits first, but you know what, go all in. And like I said, these are 1 5/8 because this is treated lumber, so I'm not worried about it swelling as much as you would have to worry about it if you used non-treated lumber. So 1 9/16 untreated, that way if it swells up, you're not stuck in the holes on your bunks. I'm going to go ahead, turn this around and cut these 8s off of here. And now to collect our spoils. So I'll show you something else here in just a second. I was telling you about these rough cut 4x4s. So as you've seen over there, we cut some of them up to use them underneath our wood stacks. But so we got a whole pile of them here. We purchased these off of the Facebook marketplace and got a heck of a deal on them. Paid a couple bucks a piece for them. And the guy's got some more, so we're going to go ahead and pick up probably about 20 more of them. So our lean-to that we're going to dry the wood in back there is going to be completely framed out of these rough cut oak 4x4s. The ceiling, the walls, everything. And then we'll use some 2x to put on there before we put the metal on, and then wind up spray foam insulation on the walls. But so that's what we're using those for. So here is our wooden stops. Let me get these taken here, and then I'm gonna go back through this way, through my maze of junk here. And I do have to keep closing the door because, well, we've got 4 dogs running around here somewhere. So here's the 12-inch version. Look at that. Drops right in. And these actually, at this size here, this is actually a little bit tighter than your stock ones. These are just a hair under 1 5/8, and these are just at 1 5/8. So like I said, I've got these in 8s, 10s, 12s, and 18s. And of course you could use your T-handle to adjust them and hold them into place. But this is going to save blades, especially just starting out, because it's a lot to remember what to adjust and what to do between each cut. And that way, if you don't lower one of these and you hit it, it's no big deal. You're going to lose, you know, an inch or whatever of a piece of junk wood. So anyway, that's what I was wanting to show you for today. Again, I know the machine's really messy for the third day, but I was literally sawing logs on it in the rain earlier, and you know, it's evident by the amount of gunk buildup, so I do have to get this cleaned off. But all in all, the machine has been really good. It runs really good. The last thing I needed to figure out with the machine is I do get a backfire whenever you let off the throttle. I was told it needs to have the carburetor adjusted on it, and I just haven't gotten into tackling that yet. But all in all, very pleased with the purchase.